Hello everybody, today I want to talk about how you can connect your PC to the TIS gateway and you can start programming. As you know, you can connect your PC to the IP port or RCU to any in, to any out, or any other device. If you want to connect one device in the network, the IP address of your computer must be same range with the other device. For example, if I want to connect to the IP port, the IP address of the IP port must be same range with my device. By default, the IP address of the TIS gateway by default is 192.168.1.200. Therefore, I have to set the IP address of my PC in the range 192.168.1.x. I can choose X any number between 2 to 254. Okay. If I open the dev search application here, this is the TIS dev search application. You can search the device by this application, and also you can program all of the TIS device with this application. If I press on this icon and I search, I can see my device. But now I cannot see my device. Why? Because as you see, the current IP of my computer is 192.168.9. Therefore, I have to set the IP address of my computer in the same range with the IP port. If I forgot what is the IP address of the IP port, for example, before I changed the IP address of the IP port, and now I forgot what's the IP address, I can reset factory the IP port. If I'm press on the PRG button for 50 seconds, it's changed to the IP port reset factory. Okay, now I'm reset factory the IP port. And if I reset the factory the IP port, the IP address of the IP port changed to 192.168.1.200. Therefore, I have to set the IP address of my computer in the same range. Therefore, I'm right-click on the network logo, open network and sharing sensor, change adapter option. If you connect by your LAN cable to the IP port, you have another icon here named local internet connection. But now I'm connecting with the Wi-Fi. Right click on my network connection, properties, internet protocol version 4, and I set my IP address in range 1. If I press on the tab, the subnet mask automatically fill. Close, okay. Again, I open the dev search. Okay, and as you can see, now this is the current IP of my computer. If your computer has a two network, for example, you are connecting the computer by Wi-Fi to the internet and by LAN network to the IP ports, therefore you have a two IP address. You can change the IP address. For example, if you have a two network, you can go to the network configuration, and here you can choose the IP address that you want the computer connects to the IP port. Okay, very good. Now I press on this icon, and if I press on the search, I can search my device. As you can see here, we have 5 methods to search the device. Okay, I want to tell you one by one. If you press on this icon, you have the first option is the fast search. This is the fast search. This method search the device, but as you can see, this is the fast search. Maybe you cannot find all of your device in the fast search. It's very usual. We have another method, it's advanced search. In the advanced search, it's definitely find all of the device, but it's take a time. But how we can use the advanced search? As you know, all of the TIS device has a two address. One of them is the subnet ID and one of them is the device ID. Let me open the Paint. Okay. Imagine that we have one building, okay, and this building, for example, has a, 5 floor, or 6 floor, or 5 floor, and in each floor we have a 2 room or 2 house. For example, this is house number 1, here 2, 3 to 10. If you connect all of these home in this building to each other, it's better you set the different subnet ID for each device in this building. For example, all the device that install in this home, we set subnet ID as a 1. All of the device in this home, we set subnet ID 2. All of the device in this home, we set subnet ID 3, and so on. Therefore, here, when we search, we can understand which device installed in the home number 2, which device installed in the home number 3. It's very good that if you use this method, but it's not necessary you use this method. Also, we have one standard for numbering the TIS device for the device ID. For example, we said the panel starts from 1 to 30, the device ID. It's not necessary you use this standard, but I suggest you to use this standard. Okay. On the advanced search, we said all of the device that subnet ID 1. Go and find all of the device that the device ID is between, for example, 10 to 20. In the advanced search, go and find all of the device that subnet ID 1 and the device ID is between 10 to 20. The advanced search, as I said before, it's take a time. Maybe it takes 10 minutes, but it's definitely find all of the device. Very good. Sometimes you know the subnet ID and device ID from one of the device. For example, you know the subnet ID and device ID of your Luna panel. For example, you installed the Luna panel before. Now the customer asks you, for example, change something on the Luna. You want to only find the Luna. Therefore, you know the subnet ID and device ID of the Luna. You put subnet ID and device ID here and then press add. As you can see, it adds the Luna. It's very good. All of these three methods search the device by subnet ID and device ID. Therefore, if you have a two device with the same subnet ID and device ID, you cannot find this device in this method. Or for example, if you have installed two ES and both of them, as you know from the company, all of them with the same ID. For example, all of the ES from the company is the device ID is 56. Therefore, if you install two same device, or your two or three of the device or more, two or three or more of the device in the same address, you cannot find this device here, because all of these three methods search this device based subnet ID and device ID. Okay, let me check. For example, here we have a two sensor. One of them is ES sensor and one of them is the health sensor. I change the address of the health sensor to the 1 device ID 1, the 101. Same with my ES. Okay, it's safe. Okay, now I'm delete all of the device and now search. You can see here it's only find the health sensor, or if I manual add, you can see it's fine only one of the device. Also, if you're looking at the device, you can find that there has a conflict. They know you know that there has a conflict because now they are the LED blinking in the purple. Or for example, our relay, the PRG button, if the address is normal, they are blinking in the green. But if they have a conflict address, they are blinking in the red. Also, you can solve the conflict address with your hands without any computer. That I sent you the video before, and I will tell you. I told you, of course, I told you on the last video about the DIY. Okay, how I can solve this problem with my computer? It's very easy. We have another method. If I'm going to the address, manage device addressing, I have another method. This method search the device by MAC address. Therefore, if I have a two device with the same subnet ID and device ID, I can find both of them here. And also I can see the MAC address is different. I can change the device ID here. If I double click on the device, I can change the device ID here, and then the conflict solved. It's very easy, very easy. Okay, now I want to tell you another things. Let me open the paint. Okay, imagine that In our distribution box, we have a 12 channel relay. For example, this is 12 channel relay, and this is another 12 channel relay, and this is 12 another relay channel. Okay, and when we search on the TIS dev search here, we find that we have a 3 VLC with the different address 51, 52 and 53. Okay, but how we can find that? Which one is 51, which one is 52 and which one is 53? Maybe this one is 51 or maybe this one is 51. How we can find that? It's very easy. We have another method to detect our device, detect address. If you want to detect address, first you need to go to the device, long press on the PRG button till the LED change to the fixed red. Then you press detect address. As you can see, your device only find this one. Now I understand the 53 is my, for example, this is my HVAC. I can open my HVAC here, and I can write a comment for it. For example, HVAC A or HVAC number 1. It depends on you. I recommend you always use a location, insert location for all of the device, because in the future when you want to go to the sites and you want to change something on this side, you have to know what is this device, because maybe you forgot what is, for example, 53, what's 52. I recommend you use a location or device comment for all of the device. Okay, and I want to tell you another things. If you want to change the IP address of your IP port, for example here, I want to change the IP address of my IP port in the same range with my network, and double click on the IP port, open the IP port. As you can see, the IP address of the IP port in 192.168.1.200, because I'm reset factory the IP port. Now I want to change the IP port IP address in the same range with my network internet connection. The gateway is very important, because I want to say the IP port, please get the internet from this modem. This is the IP address of my internet modem. If I press on the save, you can see save IP port, other information failed. Why? Because for the security reason, if you want to change anything or any information on the IP port, first you need to go to the IP port, long press on the PRG button till it's changed to the fixed red, then press save. And now it's saved. Don't forget to reboot the IP port after you change anything on the IP port. Reboot means cut off the power and then turn on the IP port. Okay, now it's saved. If I'm search again, I cannot find my device. Why? Because now the IP address of the IP port is in the range 9, but my IP address in the range 1. Therefore, again, I'm going to the Open Network and Sharing Center, change adapter option, right click, Internet Protocol version 4. Now I'm get IP address automatically, because my modem give me automatically IP address in the range 9. Now I'm close the dev search, open the dev search again. Now you can see my current IP is on the range 9, and now I can search all of my device. Hope this video is useful for you, and I believe that now you can connect the TIS device and you can start programming. Thank you so much. Have a good day.